Okay, so basically I just have the screws to put in the bottom of the door now, and the little window visor to put on the top again. But it's got her almost back together now. Alright, so the bunk seal is gone. The boot here. Again, this little crawl through sleeper doesn't really have much of a boot, so I'll have to cut. I bought one for a full-sized sleeper cutout. Well, full size for a 359 anyway. So I'll have to trim that to the right length. Alright, so all the door seals and window seals are in. I also put the new sleeper boot in. It's, I believe, a 379 boot. It's quite a lot floppier than the original. The original was one solid ring of rubber, and it was totally shot. All the corners were cracked, and they do tend to rip when it's cold, because there's actually quite a lot of flex between the cab and the bunk, but it went on pretty good. I put all the new pigtails in for the idiot lights, so now my idiot lights work and they don't pop out every time I open the dash, and then I have to figure out which one goes where. So that's good. Worked out really easy. Very simple to put in. Put wire ends on the pigtails and they clipped right in. Plugged into the original harness, didn't even have to cut anything. So that was good. I got the anti-glare lights put in. They're pretty cool. That was fairly easy to do as well. I'll just turn them on here. So the way they work is they ground out through the actual light bracket. So what I did is I installed them so that this would be touching the door frame on both sides. So that grounded them out. We'll see how well that works. And then just wired them into the dash lights. See if I like that. If not, I can always switch them over to something else if it's a bit annoying inside when I just want the dash lights on, but I don't see that being a big issue. My interior light down here, the little amber one, had a bit of a grounding issue. I think I fixed that. We'll see how that works. The one thing I didn't do is put the chrome clutch arm in yet. It's fairly hard to get at under the floor. So when I take the gearbox off to get it rebuilt, because it is quite sloppy, that'll clean a lot of stuff out of the way, and I can move the steering shaft around out of the way, and it should go on pretty good. What it is it clamps on the end of the shaft here. So there's 2 bolts that I have to be able to get out and, more importantly, get back in. And that might be a bit of a fight. So I'll need everything out of the way to do that, especially considering it might be a bit of a struggle to get this nub in the clamp. So I pulled out the interior fan here for the windshield. I'm going to put a new one in at the center post where they typically would be. I think that should look a lot better and be a lot more old school. And then, annoyingly, once I had the passenger's door put together, the little stopper arm here, which is supposed to be bolted to the door, like so, to keep it from opening too far, the bolt snapped. So I'm going to have to take the door apart again and fix that at some point here. I might leave that just in case I did something wrong with the seals, see how that works. If I have to go in there again for something else, I will fix that, or if everything's fine, I'll just go in and fix it later. But this door is a little bit harder to take apart because all the screws around the little peep window here they go into clips that, just like speed nuts that are put on the lip of the bezel for the peep window, and they are all cracked. So, or some of them are cracked anyway. About 3 of those screws are just sitting there, but they're not actually holding the upholstery on around the window. But I can get a new one from Dirk's, a new bezel, but it'll be black, which is fine. The original one is not black. But if I put the chrome piece in, which I wasn't really sure I wanted to do, I thought maybe that looked a bit much. But if I put the black one in, I might just put the chrome cover on. Or I could leave it black. It really doesn't matter. I really haven't seen a lot of these colors. The center pillars here are not black either. They're at one point were a tan color, but they're pretty aged and yellowed and dirty. Maybe some point I'll have to replace those too, but we shall see. I gave it a decent clean in here. The carpet is holding the dye in much better since I resprayed it. Someone had a good hint about how to mix up the dye, so I did it differently, and it seems to have worked a lot better. So the floor is now back to being pretty much all one color again. I might have to touch it up here or there, depending. If you get in here with wet boots, the water is kind of hard on the dye, so I'm always going to have to make sure that I keep that dry. Usually I would drive without my boots on, but a 359 is a little bit worse to do because the angle of the pedals is much more is much more perpendicular to the floor. So having that heel really helps my foot be more comfortable on the pedal. And of course in the 359 you can't put your seat back very far, so actually having my leg higher up because of the heel makes it a lot more comfortable for driving. So I might just have to be picky and clean it a lot. We'll see how that goes. As far as what else to do now, or what other plans I have, I should make a list of everything that has to be done. There's still a lot of stuff to do, but we'll stick at it and keep doing it.